Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Headkrack After Hours. Is a dude who I could actually call a friend. One of the first people I met when I moved to a town called Atlanta. And, yo, man, we still continue to connect from time to time and get some great things done. One time for my big homie from Push 2.0, my man, Denocka Wardrick.
Thank you.
You got to hold that mic. You interviewing your throat.
Oh, yeah, my bad.
What up, man?
No, everything good. It's been a while since I've really been up this early in the morning.
Word. And usually you're on the other side of the mic talking to people.
Yeah.
It's very rare that, like, the people get to turn the gun on you and see what you got going on.
No, you know what, though? It's cool. I never really been in this kind of situation before, so it does feel kind of weird a little bit. Is that better?
Yeah, but you gotta get used to this, because the things you're doing are not gonna only have you on the covers of magazines, but people gonna want to put you in front of a camera and talk to you more about it. So I mean, I always like to start with the origin story of the people I'm talking to.
Yeah.
So for those who don't know, you actually used to be heavy on the MC thing for a minute. I've stumbled across your joint. I think it was either on Amazon or eBay. I think the asking price for the CD is like something absurd, like $900 and something. And when I say absurd, it's like, whoa. Like, this is crazy that, like, my man got a CD out that's $938 or something like that. And I know this guy.
It's actually, I didn't know you knew that.
Come on, man. I do my Googles, man.
I didn't know you do that.
Beyond my Googles, I check up on my people.
Yeah, so a lot of where that part comes from, was that the question?
Yeah, what got you into hip-hop culture? Why did you jump from behind it, from being an MC to getting more on the business side and helping other artists?
Good question. Well, honestly, I come from a musical family. The whole MCing part came from my oldest brother, Bernard Wardrick. They call him Mac Diamond Hard Bernard. He started P-Funk Records in Newark, New Jersey. The middle brother is Tariq Wardrick, Mr. Funky from Lords of the Underground. Where we come from on Martin Luther King Boulevard in Newark, MCing is like, you better know it or you probably really can't come outside. My brother actually, and this is when I talk about brotherly love, family. My brother actually built a label for me to be able to do that. Dope. A lot of times I would say that for me, I saw a lot of things move too fast because I was still in school. As much as they had me in the studios, because my mother died when I was like 12. We lost our mother at a very young age.
Sorry to hear that.
No, it's cool. It's cool. She left behind a great legacy and some great kids. But they always kept me in school. So it was natural that I gravitated towards other things. I was always taking shit apart, figuring out how it works, why it was, what it was. Sometimes I got a whooping for it. So it never really mattered on that part. The process with the MCing, I guess as creators, we all are going to create in different forms and stages of our life. But as we move into different stages of our lives, the things that we create just change. But it's still creation all in the same.
Dope. And you're absolutely right. Because a lot of times, even in rap, especially rap in the 80s, 90s, it was always like a made-up science type world. I kick open walls, bust through floors. Yo, I use my brain power to electrify. People used to say some far-out stuff.
It always been that.
But it comes from a fascination with science, because we are a scientific people, whether, people want to give us the credit for it or not. There's a lot of inventions that you can connect to, to black people in Africa. There's a lot of inventions you can connect to, our Jamaican brethren, our Haitian brethren, and sometimes they don't give us the credit. We invent things too. They always bounce it over to India, Japan, they making everything.
No, but to be honest, and I guess in a way with what I'm about to say doesn't go against anything you just said, but truth be told, there's no such thing as a new invention. There's nothing new under the sun. There's rediscovery, but there is no such thing as a new invention. And the reason why I say this is because when you look at it, if it's already made up of the materials that's found on this planet, and these things already existed at one point in time in a different form of history than ours, then only thing we do is rediscover, like the QR code. Nobody discovered that. You can find it on ancient amulets in Egypt right now, and it's been all over the world.
Really?
Yeah. So if it's been around before this Western civilization was created, then it must have been here way before. When we look at people like Nikola Tesla or Elon Musk, and we say, well, yeah, they're great inventors. You have to remember a lot of these coils that's been around being used is the same things that they was using to power electricity in the pyramids hundreds of thousands of years ago.
And we just now catching back up.
That's all.
Yeah. Nah, like I read a lot of books on that, and sometimes they talk about how like certain we truly at the end of the day have no idea how long this rock that we're standing on right now has been here, because they found an axe that was like 9 billion years old.
True. I'll even tell you a little truth. That album that sells on Amazon for all that money, like that was an experiment of mine that I never told my brother. I wanted to see how certain things interact with people. And just to go back to that for 1 second, never in my life have I ever thought that I would have an album that trades on the market for something of that value. I don't know how it happened. When people ask me, I could tell them to this day I had nothing to do with that part. That's something that they did. But when you're dealing with experiments and science, everything in this room at one point in time was an algorithm on paper. Everything, even down to this little screw. So if that's to be said, when you look at this world of development and all these cool other projects and things that people think are new, it's really not. We just find different ways of developing.
Got you. And the crazy thing is, like even that concept of selling a project for that much, not saying that you did it on purpose,
No.
but later on, you see guys like Nipsey Hussle doing a similar thing where he was like moving his album, I think either for like $100 a pop or $1,000 a pop, but it was like adventurous. Like when I first discovered, it was adventurous for the time, because like you actually told me about that a long time ago, and I just one of those things I always remembered. And then when I saw it, I was like, word, that's kind of dope. Still saving up my money to buy it, but I got to stream that thing. But I guess it makes it not as valuable, because it's about it being special and you can hold it in your hand.
You know what? I found out why they consider it valuable.
Why is that?
It's during the time that it was recorded and the sound that it was.
Got you.
So it's at that time with P-Funk Records, I don't know how many copies they actually pressed up. They pressed up enough that it sold pretty well. But at that time, it wasn't no $909.
Now, we got some people on here that's watching this or listening to this is boiling out of control and want to find it. What do they look for? What was it called?
It's called Within Me by Denocka. It doesn't say my last name. Now, the album cover artwork, if I remember, was done by Cherry out of Harlem.
Mm-hmm.
She's a cartoonist. A lot of people, they see the artwork, they go crazy, and they think some crazy stuff, man, that is way out there. And me being in science don't really help that matter sometimes. So I get some backlash on it. But if they want to find it, it's Denocka. It's called Within Me. Clicks and Cruise is also on it. It's probably one of the last maxi singles that existed on vinyl.
Like I'm actually seeing it now. Yeah, it's coming up. I'm not seeing it. A couple people ripped it, put it on YouTube. But go throw some money on that though. But so start, going from what you did as a youth that got you to where you at now. This whole Push 2.0 entertainment technology that you have going on right now. Break that down for people who have no idea what that is.
Okay, entertainment science is you don't really come across too many of them, even though you use our stuff every day. The television came from an entertainment scientist. The radio itself, anything that's a microphone or a camera or a wire that allows you to transmit audio, data, things like that. How I got into it was I blame my family. They messed me up, man. I blame my family. Like when you have the moment when you're in school and you're going to the studio at the same time, but then you have to take calculus and you're listening to NWA at the same time. A lot of things happen with these little mixtures. So where the science part came in was that I looked at a lot of ways things was being done. And artists, I'll say this, and this is not my quote. This comes from actually Dave Chappelle. When you see talent and corporate interests meet, it's not always cute.
Right.
You know, so I wanted to develop ways that allow the artists to maintain being artists, not just in their facet, but not to have to deal with the majors, but if they do, it's on an even playing field. Because now the majors may have the dollars to throw at things, but, you know, now they have the technology to outweigh the dollars as well.
And okay.
When you're developing for an entertainment science purpose, you want to think about user connectivity, how people interact with it on their everyday lives. And the beauty about that is you find these clusters of gold mines, that I call them, of billions and millions of people where their consciousness is just sitting there and it's ready to be absorbed by something amazing. Now, granted, if this stuff is used by the wrong people, of course, dude, we already know what'll happen.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, all right? But for the sake of goodness and righteousness, if it's used the right way, what it could do for the world itself is amazing. It can reduce the carbon footprint that we put on this planet with CDs and even vinyl waste. Let's just be honest, because it takes forever for plastic to decompose.
True.
Now, when you look at it on that basis and you're saying, well, as an artist or as a label, now, a lot of people are going to say, well, look, this is going to take a lot of people in major record labels' jobs away. No, it allows them to actually relearn another process to increase their career for what it is. So it doesn't take anything away, it adds to. So let's take, for example, you own a pressing plant, right?
Okay.
And you guys are pressing up CDs. And don't get me wrong, I don't know why anyone is still doing this. I haven't seen the CD player in like 5 years.
Yeah, usually when you see people show up with a CD, they either just got out,
Exactly.
or like so old and detached and have no children in their life that are like telling them like, "Yo, pops, SoundCloud."
No, you're right. But when you still go in places like Target, Walmart, you still find them. And
But you've noticed the racks are shrinking.
exactly.
It's not what it used to be.
But not even just there. When you look at it on a basis of a kid that may go to AIU, AI, SCAD, and they have to get these entertainment books that are this thick, why would you have to pay for that when you could just carry it on your device?
Yeah.
You could save a lot of overhead. You allow the student to still get what they need, and they could still pay for the book right through the school. It's still simple. But you have to make things accessible for them that way. And that's what entertainment science is all about. It's about not being entertaining, but the scientific fact from how you interact with it as a person on your everyday life.